Hey, hello. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for being here. Thanks. I got Anella's here and Jeff's here. Comic Dad is here, and Deaf Not Real Guy is here. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I've got somebody really awesome here. His name is Ray, and he's a great toy photographer. How you doing, man?
What's up? Doing good.
Doing
Excited
all
to
right.
be here finally.
Seriously, yeah. It's literally taken us probably like I don't know 6+ months to get
My
this
time. Yeah.
scheduled and worked out. And I will say a lot of that was me for sure. So hey, and there's Samurai Sandwich, who's your brother, right?
Yeah, Samori sandwich. Yeah.
Samori. Wow, sorry,
It's okay. I don't think he cares.
but yeah, showing some support. What a good brother he is.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ray, tell me a little bit about Ray Sashi, and then tell me a little about Ramon. Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, my name came inspired from a manga called Vagabond, where the main character is called Musashi. He goes through like a lot of, I guess, trials in life, trying to find his own will and his own path, and it was really impactful in the time that I read it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna slap my name on there because I don't know. When I saw him, I was like, I got the hair like him, the beard like him, and just I don't know, it just felt relatable. I just slapped my name on there, and it worked out. So
Cool.
yeah,
Nice. Well, you've got it. It's definitely like I think it's tough to choose a name if you're really trying to think of something that like you connect with, but also is something like unique and very you, and not
yeah,
just like the same as everybody else that you have to add numbers at the end or
yeah.
something. So that's cool. That's really cool. So tell me a little about you, just yourself, and tell me about you as a toy photographer, stuff like that.
Well, I guess for me, I mean, I don't really know where to start, but I mean, I always liked collecting toys as a kid. I mean, with my brother, we always used to like Dragon Ball was a huge inspiration. Like we used to play with figures, like Mario's or just whatever, and we used to like recreate scenes from like Dragon Ball or whatever just to get our imagination going. And
Cool.
that's kind of what led up to where it is now is I collect figures, but it's always because I have a type of attachment to them and I like to recreate scenes or inspired from scenes like with my photography. That's really where it comes from.
Do you often like get the I don't know, did you kind of like start out thinking like more like I just want to recreate the things that I already know and love from like events that had happened in like anime and stuff, and then you've kind of moved to like I want to create my own stories with these characters? Has that kind of been like
So
transition?
it started. So I used to just collect just figures, but I never did anything with them until my brother showed me. He sent I forgot the channel's name, but he sent me a stop motion of Dragon Ball, and he was like, "Dude, look, it looks just like the anime." And I was just blown away. I was like, "How is he making the toys look alive? Like the moves, the sound effects, and everything." I was like, "I want to do the
Oh,
same thing." So I tried messing and like getting around into stop motion, like figuring it out, and it was cool. Like I've done like very small things, like nothing major, but it takes a lot of time, and it's kind of hard to find the time to do it with
yeah.
work, school, and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I don't want to just feel like I invested into a lot of figures and just having them sit here. And I don't know how it happened, but I ended up running into what you do, and I saw your channel and stuff, and then I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't say how he does this stuff though. But then I saw how accessible it was, and I was like, holy
Yes.
crap! Like he just like helps us out. Like here, this is how you do it. Like these are tips and stuff, and with a lot of just trial and error. But yeah, that's really where it came from.
That's so cool. I mean, that's literally my hope and aspirations is that like people who kind of learn what toy photography is and then they like find the channel and then it's like I want it to be like everything you could need to like
Yeah,
get going. Um, and that's so cool to know that that's kind of I don't know how it worked. So that's like honestly like the best possible thing I could hope for.
yeah, for real.
Um, and clearly, you've I don't know. So like one of the things that like we talked about,
Mhm.
this interview and stuff for a long time, and one of your things you said that I want to wait to do it because I want to like build up like a portfolio.
Right.
Um, and like we were talking earlier about it too, and I was like, you had some awesome stuff before, but I'm so glad you decided to wait because you've got so many awesome we can talk about. So and uh, I think you were probably only had, like, a handful of stuff on the page at the moment.
Yeah.
So this your first shot that you've done,
Uh,
period?
no, I don't know. I'm just very hard on myself. I still have the first shot I did. I just wasn't proud of it. Like I always look back and I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of it. I mean, I still have it personally. It's just not
Right.
publicly. But that is one of my very early ones that I was like, this actually came out pretty cool. And yeah, that's
It does look cool, and this is with the, is it the Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew?
yeah, that's when that came out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was crazy, like, when that came out, the places were trying to give those things away and couldn't do it. There's, like, pallets of them for, like, 50 cents. Nobody would buy them because it just wasn't good.
Yeah, me
But
and my brother we were like, we're gonna buy a few, and it was an experience.
well, it's definitely like I see why you wanted to use it for this shot specifically,
Yeah.
but the fire and stuff is awesome, and the reflection of it on there is so cool. Like that's so well done. Like just like I don't tell me about this shot, and I know how you were feeling like then when you took it, and how you feel now, stuff like that.
Um, well, I obviously like looking at it now. I can see like areas where it can grow because when I first started, I just used autofocus. I didn't mess with manual focus because I wasn't confident to know what I was doing. But one of my favorite things about this is like the reflection on the floor, like the fire.
Yeah,
That to me,
yeah.
that I was like, that's cool. But and just messing with fire, really, like as dangerous as it is. I mean, I've told you some things, but yeah, just like burning things.
Burning things in general is fun, and then when you can kind of add it into toy photography, it's just an extra plus.
Yeah.
So what did you end up what did you use to, like, get the fire, like, and did you just, like how'd you get the
Um.
reflection? Like
So I just grabbed a bunch of like sticks that fall off a pine tree that's like
oh,
literally
nice,
right
okay.
next to my house, and I just put them around there and threw that grill liquid and just put a lighter on it and just burned it. Yeah.
Cool. Let it burn. Awesome. And for the water, did you just kind
Oh, I
of,
used your food coloring technique. Like
oh, nice. Okay, so that
yeah.
is what the reflection is on, is
Yeah.
for the from the fake Mountain Dew that's being splashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And so did you have to, like, because combining both of these effects, you've gotta be, like, really thinking quick, like the fire, and then you dump the water, and then you take the picture, and you're, like,
Yeah.
hyperventilating because 'cause you're trying to do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what happened
it
with
was, I
this?
mean, yeah, it was a lot of I set the fire on and then I just put the figure on there and then just pour the water in and yeah, it was
All within a matter of a
yeah.
couple seconds, probably?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I it's like when I for me, like, anytime I've tried to, like, combine, like, different practical effects,
Yeah.
it's like it's it's always like, there's always the option, like, yeah, I guess in Photoshop, I could do the fire and then do the water and do them separately, but, like, if you're able to do them at the same time, I feel like they always end up looking better because you
Yeah.
see the way they interact with each other, like, the way light bounces off of
Right.
each other, and always I feel like looks better in the end, and it's hard. But, yeah, Stubbs, I agree.
Just burn it all. Yeah.
Cool. Um, so when you look at I know this is your first shot, we'll move on from this, but,
Sure.
what do you look at this now, and, like, when you look at this now, what do you think, like, "Oh, I could have done this better, I should have done this differently," like, what do you think?
Um, I think if I made it now, I would want to have the fire a little closer. Of course, like safely so I don't burn the figure, but I would also want to put light around him. Because like looking at it now, like from since it was like close to night, like the sword more towards the edge, it looks kind of blurry. And I think giving the sword a pop, I would like if I
I see what you mean.
recreated it. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Well, one thing that did come out nicely is there's such a great silhouette from the fire,
Yeah, yeah,
which is really cool. So that's definitely something that was a total plus. Um, cool. Yeah, it's makes me like whenever if I see if I see older shots of mine that I really like the idea
yeah.
still, because sometimes I'm like that was a dumb idea, but sometimes I'm like that was actually a cool idea. Um, I would like to try that again. Do you kind of get
A
that
lot of the time,
inspiration?
yeah. Like I
Cool.
see stuff and I'm like, I know what I was thinking, but I don't know if I delivered it the right way. And like, there's a few that I want to redo.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely worth doing. It's definitely worth doing. Hey man, thanks a lot. Yes. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rocco. If you are here and you're liking it, smashing the like button would be great.
yeah.
Appreciate it. And while you're at it, make sure you're following Ray Sashi over here on Instagram. I got him linked in the description of the video anyway, so it's nice and easy. So you got no excuse to be following this fantastic artist. So let me go. So here's like a more. This is probably your most recent shot.
Yeah,
This is your most recent shot, at least that you've
yeah.
posted,
It is.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, so this one's fantastic, and it's you can totally see, at least in my opinion, or from I can see how much you've grown, at least with confidence. Like you've
yeah.
got the effects going on, and you've also got like multiple characters, and they're each doing different things, and there's
Right.
stories and many like little things you notice here and there that's happening. So it's not just like um it's not just like a cool picture. It's like a cool picture with stuff happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So tell me about this one, and I know how your approach feels maybe different now, stuff like that.
So so this was the first time that I took a picture with an action happening with a new lens that I got, because I used to have
Oh,
a white lens when I used to make stop motion, but this is my first time buying the Canon 50 millimeter.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So I like when I saw that you had it like in an old video and you were like, yeah, you can get more bokeh and stuff with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that. Like I'm gonna upgrade lens. Um, and yeah, it was just a lot of. I mean, it was stressful. It was really cold. I remember it was really cold taking this picture. It was outside in the snow,
Yeah,
but
definitely
it's a lot of fun.
cool. Okay, so this was the first time using the 50 millimeter
With like action happening. Yeah.
with the action happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, so like some of these like let's see.
The one next to it was my first one. The one in the snow. Yeah, the one with
This
guts.
one is like really beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
That was my first
and
one with the 50.
yeah, this one is really great. And so I know you're like a huge anime guy,
Yeah.
and like I know I've watched like I know there's a bunch of different Berserk stuff, and I've watched like one of them. It was like, and I liked it, so I know enough about kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so this one's beautiful. Tell me about this one. Tell me about how you got this bokeh and all the beautiful stuff going on.
Sure. Well, I mean, as you can see, Berserk's like my favorite series. I like to I read the manga for it I haven't seen the anime yet. I'm more of a manga reader
Oh,
than an anime watcher. But I mean, I still
cool.
like both. But this one was inspired from a panel where he's walking with her, and it looks like a snowy area. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to recreate that in the picture where he covers her with the cape and he's walking through like the snowy area. But I was like, you know what? There's snow. I'm just gonna make it look like a blizzard instead. And
Cool.
yeah,
Did you just kind of like kick up some snow, just like the
yeah.
old-fashioned
Just
way?
grabbed snow and was just throwing it. And I was like,
Great.
however it comes out, I'm sure it's gonna look cool.
That's what I do too. Honestly, I find that to be like sometimes I'll think I'll kick it up like with my like smack in the snow,
Yeah.
but then I'm like that doesn't, so I'll usually just grab a handful and just go and kind of sprinkle it over.
I just like that with the lens, how some pieces are clear, but a lot of some other pieces are just bokeh circles.
I agree. I really love
That's really
that.
cool.
I
Yeah.
really love that. And so is all the snow in here like all totally practical?
Yeah, I just was messing around, just flickering it
Wow,
around, and then
that
use
is
some of
so cool.
that. I think it's called the aerosol spray, that fog one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sprayed it around. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it really looks good. It looks so like the snow itself is so equally balance. Like I feel you've got stuff in the foreground, right? I don't know, the mid ground where the focus is, and then you've got stuff in the background too. So you've just got this great even mix of the snow, which is tough because sometimes
Yeah.
I'll usually just get like one. Like I don't know. Did you get all of this in one shot, or did you
No,
do a
no.
little bit of editing?
I take lot of photos, like a lot of
Okay,
layer editing. Yeah.
great. So that's a great transition. What? So tell me about that editing process and with layering and stuff, and then like, what's your thought process before you take the shot to kind of like prep your mind for editing?
So I think my biggest thing still now is always finding the angle, because like obviously like when I posed them I was like, this is gonna look cool, but of course everything looks different behind the camera, and trying to just play around and be like, do I like this angle? If I move it, I probably won't be able to recreate it exactly, and just a lot of
Right.
trial and error there. But one thing, like just one tip that I learned from just when I was practicing stop motion that I apply with photography is it's better to overtake shots than to have less. So just like when I was throwing the snow, I was like, even if it looks like I took like 80 or whatever, as long as I know that I have backups, and it just works out that way. And we're just playing with the light, having more shots, and then just layering it in Photoshop. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, take more just in case. That's really good. But I need to honestly, I'm gonna take that advice because there's been several times lately where it's like, man, you know what? I should have just taken another one with
Yeah.
lighting over here, or like
Or
so.
yeah, or whenever I'm done, I just sometimes I just play with like focus. I'm like, is the sword in focus? Is the face in focus? And I just
Yeah,
like to just always mess around with that, because I've been in that situation what you're saying, where I'm editing, I'm excited, and then I'm like, the face isn't in focus. This is bad. But yeah,
yeah. That's like the worst thing,
yeah,
honestly. And like just taking test shots too. Like I
yeah.
can't express that, especially when you're in an environment like outside where you
Hmm.
don't like have the luxury, I guess, like you would if you're inside, to just kind of like take your time and look. And because when it's
Yeah,
snowing or if it's bright outside, you can't really see
and you're
the
timed like on the light,
yeah,
especially depending
yeah,
what time of day you're doing. But yeah.
yeah. You're rushed. Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Guts and Berserker, what's your opinion on the Guts Berserker figure? I heard so many bad things about it, but to me it looks great.
It definitely has some issues. It was very not very. It was disappointing to take it out of the box and see that the sword is too heavy for him to carry with one hand. Like the peg would just pop. Some of the armor pieces come off very easily, but
Hmm.
I mean, just being a huge fan, I was like, you know what? It was just really cool that SH Figuarts even got the license to make this, because Figma made one in like 2013. So I was like, I'll
Really?
take what I'll take
So
what I can.
is this the first like major Guts figure since like the Figma one in 2013?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay,
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
the Casca's a Figma, an old one too. That's old.
Okay, I can just by looking at that, it just looks like a Figma, even though I can just see her
Yeah,
face. Really, it kind of looks Figma-y. That's interesting. Wow, I had no idea how scarce because he's such like a massive,
yeah.
character. I
Yeah,
feel like
I don't know. Yeah,
so that's got to be amazing for the Berserk fans. I had no like I did not realize it was like I remember seeing it revealed. I was like, oh cool, another Guts figure. There's probably lots
yeah,
of them, but I was
yeah.
so
No,
wrong.
unfortunately.
What do you think about the uh uh Tamashi getting the license for Yu Yu Hakusho?
I haven't seen Yu Yu Hakusho. It is on my list. I would
Oh, you
rather
haven't? Okay,
would rather read it. I heard the manga art is really nice. I'm sure the anime is great, but yeah,
cool. Okay, yeah,
it is on my list.
I've never read a manga at all. I mean, I've watched plenty of anime, so
Oh,
but I
yeah. I
mean,
read them
I don't
online.
want to say plenty, but yeah, a decent amount. But it's awesome. It's definitely an awesome one.
Yeah.
But even as far as like anime goes, I'm like kind of a noob. Like I'll watch the dubs,
Oh,
and
I mean, it doesn't. I don't. It doesn't matter.
I agree.
I see I know some people do take it like that, but like I don't care. Like it's whatever, as long as you're into it because you like it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Miguel, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming in. Go figure, go. Cool. Okay. Well, we've been on this shot for a while now, but this is a absolutely beautiful shot, and you can
Thank you.
really see, your confidence and just like going from the beginning to where you are now, like your shots and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're all over the place too. Like I love how there's not just like one specific style of like you just do like outdoor explosive stuff, or you just do dioramas, or you just do this. You do a little bit of everything, which I think is
Yeah.
really cool. Um, so Maury says, "Are you a Guts fan because you are Guts, or are you Guts because you are a Guts fan?" And you've got Guts saying that too.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I don't know what he's trying to say with that.
There you
He's
go.
just
There's
messing
your
with me.
answer, Maury. Okay, so speaking of something quite different, actually, let's talk about your lights shot. This was
Sure.
your lights challenge.
Yeah.
This one is just, like super ambitious. Like this is something I always struggle with. Is like more than two figures, and they're all doing
Yeah.
stuff. There's action. Like this is tough, and it came out fantastic. So tell
Thank
me
you.
about this one.
Um, this one I took this in my room because I don't know. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna take the tree out. So that was like my main thing. I was like, how am I gonna take this small Christmas? Where am I gonna plug it in? So I was like, you know what? I gotta figure out
Ah,
somewhere in my room.
right.
So, yeah, I just used flour, set it up. But when I got the Santa, I was like, I mean, I don't know how much you've seen of Chainsaw Man. I was like, but the personality of these two, I was like, they're very dynamic. You can't trust leaving them alone. They're always gonna do something they're not
Yes.
supposed to do. So I just went on Big Bad Toy Store and I was just like, let me find a Santa that they can beat up or something. And then when I
Yeah,
found,
I totally get it. Yeah, I've been recently catching up on a lot of
yeah,
anime, and I have watched Chainsaw Man. So I totally see them like not giving a crap about who Santa is, or not even
yeah,
knowing, and then them just wanting to kill him. So especially Power,
yeah,
I absolutely see that. So tell me, so one thing that makes me what I would like to ask is like,
yeah.
how did you get everybody in focus?
So this like the older lens that I was using, which was the white lens, this I was just a lot honestly, this one took a lot of layers. It was a lot of the adjusting the focus because wanted to make sure Denji was in focus, and Power, her hammer, Santa, the lights, blur out certain things. So it was a lot, but that's yeah, just adjusting the layers for it to
Okay,
combine all together. But yeah.
cool. One thing that I think sometimes is makes it difficult for me to like do that, where
Hmm.
you take a picture with the focus here, picture with the focus here, picture with the focus
Yeah.
here, is when you take like the in focus part and you layer it on top of the out of focus part. Sometimes it leaves like a little bit of a glow
Yeah.
around them because
Yeah.
of the out of focusness of what's behind, and then you gotta sometimes kind of like get rid of that.
Yeah.
So did you, because there's none of that here, did you have to deal with any of that?
It does happen. I know where you're coming from.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the way I work around that is I always just take the figures out and just take a picture of just the scene. So
Nice.
then
Okay.
whatever
Cool.
blur is there, I can just eliminate it.
Cool. Awesome. When I've been doing lately, so sometimes I'll try that, but sometimes it's just like too much for me
Yeah.
to do. So in Photoshop, I will like I did this recently with like that Metagross one that I did,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
like I did the same thing with to get everybody in focus. But I removed Pikachu completely using the like generative
Yeah.
fill, and then I put the in focus on top of that, which actually ended up looking better because I didn't have any of that glow.
I would have never thought of using the generative fill for that. That's cool.
Yeah, there's just endless
Yeah.
amounts in Photoshop. So Ian over here says, I want to see you guys talking about the Figma Metroid Dread Samus, one of my favorites of the year, and love both of your Doomslayer shots. Well, thanks
All
very
right.
much, Ian.
Yeah. I have a
So yeah,
Samus. I don't have the Metroid Dread one though.
Okay, well here, so I know you've been shooting that Doomslayer. So this is not the Metroid Dread one.
No, that's just Metroid Prime Samus.
Well, so okay. So first, tell me the difference, because I'm like not the I know like nothing about Metroid. But
Metroid
is this?
Dread is it's a new armor from the new game.
Oh, really? Like she
Yeah,
actually has a different armor?
yeah, it's like blue, red, and white. It looks really cool. I just haven't bought that figure yet. I want it, I just haven't gotten it yet.
Cool. Okay, well, is this the Figma one?
They're both made by Figma. Yeah,
So this is also the Figma version of the
Samus.
regular
Yeah,
Samus.
yeah,
Wow. So this is, I mean, the fact that with like thick armor like that you're able to get like hands together where like
yeah.
the arm on the shoulder, like that's impressive. Like I almost thought
Yeah,
this was a statue that where
this
that
is
pose was
one of
already
the
in.
better articulated Figmas, I would say.
Cool. Yeah. So it's hit or miss sometimes with Figma.
I will
Um,
say though, this was my first photo that I took using generative fill. I will say that.
oh, okay. Tell me about that. Tell me about what you did
So
here.
when I upgraded Photoshop, and then when you talked about it, I was just like, I was thinking the same thing, like just using AI to mess around with it. So I took a picture of her using a green screen, and then when I removed the background, and I was like, I want to. She goes to different planets. I would just want to just messing around, just typing different things like planets or alien moon or whatever, and it just
Oh,
mixing
so the
results.
entire
And
background.
yeah,
What about the little floaty thingies going on
the
here?
Metroid, her ship. Yeah, her ship. I don't have that, so I had to just use a PNG and mess with
Okay,
like lens blur and just make it fit in the background.
nice.
Same thing with the Metroid. Yeah.
And is this one of them taking away Zoro from One
Uh,
Piece?
yeah. It was a Zoro always gets lost, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw him in there just because, just for fun. So yeah.
That's great. Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the figure does look really great, and the shot looks great too. You did a great job
Oh, thank you.
with the background and the lighting and everything. Um, so I'm assuming this was all indoors.
Yeah, I took a
Mr.
few. I started doing a few with AI, so yeah, it
Cool.
was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do. There's a heck of a lot you can do. Hey, Toy Mirth, how's it going, man? But I do want to ask, and sorry, 3DD3B. I don't even know how I'm gonna say your name, but what do you gotta? Can you think of any just like overall fundamental tips for just like indoor? Because there's a lot of different indoor things, but like any just like easy kinds of, I don't know,
Um,
fundamentals that helped you with indoor stuff.
I think for me was, well, what helped me with indoor was using like the background removal and creating like backgrounds, because for me, I've seen a lot of talented people that make dioramas, and as much as I've wanted to get into it, I don't have the space, and it's not another thing that I need to
That's
start racking up in my room.
Yeah, takes a
Um,
lot of space.
yeah, I don't. I think the hardest part for me is like the base and like the background, because I can get props and everything, but it's like I don't like how the background looks. Like I don't want to just use my wall. So that's,
Right.
yeah. I'm not,
Cool.
I'm not, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's something I still struggle with.
Same here. Same here. Indoors hard. And one of the things that I've kind of told myself, because a lot of times with indoor, I kind of thought like I had this kind of I don't know, rules that I thought existed in my head. Like,
Yeah.
well, if I do indoors, I gotta like have everything fit and everything. I have to find props that fit and
Hmm.
like an environment that fits and like dioramas that fits. But then I was like, I really don't have to do that. I can,
Yeah.
I could do whatever I want. Doesn't have to do that
I,
at all.
I like the ones you take on your kitchen photo. Those are great.
Great, thank you. And I have felt so much more free knowing
Yeah,
that I could just do
that's
stuff on
great.
my table and do whatever I want. And it's what's really great about that is I don't really need anything special. I can just use crap I got in my kitchen and just
Yeah.
figure out something funny, and then that's all.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a lot less expensive that way too. And
Yeah. For real.
it's fun. So that's my tip is that there's no rules. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's literally no rules at all. Cool. We're getting a lot of great stuff in the comments. And Stubbs over here, I know he's a big fan of using AI for the backgrounds.
Yeah.
For sure. Controversial toys. I agree. It is an awesome shot. And I know we were going to mention the Figma Doom.
Yeah.
This was one of your other great ones too.
This
So
one was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about this one.
So I just, when it was kindness, I saw everybody doing like kindness photos or like something nice, and I was like, I want to do something that just seems different. And I was like, Doomslayer and Anya, like some sweet kid versus with a guy that's brutal, kills demons and all this stuff. And I just was like, I found that those Pokemon props on eBay, and I was like, oh, I remember those Pokemon McDonald things and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
those are
and,
awesome.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's cup in general, the whole
Yeah.
thing, yeah, it's all really cool.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's background, is that is that digitally put in there?
So, yes, the base is just like a wooden floor that I got from Hobby Lobby.
Nice.
And the background, I just put it over the keyboard of my Mac and just used my Mac as the.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Like a digital,
Yeah.
like a digirama.
Yeah.
I
was a little nervous that it wasn't gonna work out great, but yeah.
It worked out great. The depth and everything, totally. I mean, there's nothing you have to do to convince anyone that that's real. It's like it all fits,
Yeah.
But what you got to do, Andrew? At least for some, especially like digital backgrounds, just like give it a try. Just try it. Try to, I guess, take a picture of something, with the background kind of in mind. So then you can try to match the lighting to it when you take the photo. And so then you can kind of, it becomes that much easier to make them match each other, like the background and stuff. So then, it looks convincing, because the lighting is always the thing that makes it feel not like it's not real, potentially. So that's the only thing I would recommend for that. What about you? Any recommendations?
I think for me, like getting into that is start with a like simple posing, like maybe like standing before doing things like flying or all that kind of stuff. The only best tip I would say is when it comes to removing backgrounds is it's easier to have a background that's solid color and does not match with the figure. Like a Superman with a red cape, you don't want to use like a red background, because then the cape's gonna be a lot harder.
Right.
So
that's super smart. Super smart. And Anthony, this is words of wisdom. Not good at anything until you give it a shot. That's for sure.
That's true.
That's for sure. And Ian, no, actually, I went to Sonic and I ordered a bunch of food and I used that for the photo.
I've never been there.
All right. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's some things that are good about it and some things that are not so great about it. All right, I gotta talk about this one. This is like one of the few not video game / anime related things. Two fantastic figures. I think some of the best of their kind. So tell me about this one. This is just
so Comic Dad actually reached out, and he was like, hey, like I'm doing a collab, all this stuff. You want to like partake and stuff. So we were thinking of a theme and all that stuff, and we ended up agreeing with Batman and Superman. And I already had that Mafex Batman, but every single time somebody showed that they had that Mafex Superman, I was so jealous, because it was super expensive for aftermarket and everything. And then when it finally reissued, I was like, I need that. And and it just worked out, because when I got it, I was like, oh, it's still like in the box. Like this is the perfect time to just use it. So
nice.
Yeah, I was like, what's something that Superman would do that Batman would also be like, yeah, sure. Like just trying to keep their personalities like the same. Like Batman's just all like, yeah, bro, just do your thing. Just light up the marshmallow. And
yeah, I absolutely love it. And the relationship between Batman and Superman is one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, it's great.
But so when you did this shot, did the fire do what you thought it was going to do, or did it like Because this is like it's tough
My
doing
brother
stuff this
actually
close.
he helped me out with this one. Just making sure that the fire came out right. Because my biggest concern was I don't want to burn Superman's cape. Like that
Right.
was like my concern. Or just making sure that the marshmallow just lit up properly. Because the first times, like if it was windy that day, so if I didn't like light it up immediately, it just wouldn't even like set on fire. And,
Right.
yeah.
So windy. Yeah, and one thing too that I want to mention that makes this impressive is if you want to like getting a shot like this to where it's clear to the
Mm.
viewer who's seeing this completely objectively that this is a marshmallow that's on fire. Like you captured it perfectly, so there's plenty of white still there. There's still char around the outside, and there's
Yeah.
a flame. And like if you don't get that perfectly enough, it's not super easy for like any random person looking at this to know like, oh, that's someone
Yeah.
roasting a marshmallow. So like that right there, like, so did it take multiple tries to get that, or
It did. I think the hardest part with this was the marshmallow because of the weight. Sometimes like Batman would let go of it and it would just fall, and I was like, "Come on!" Like,
right?
yeah. So then I had to redo it, but yeah, it ended up working out finally. But the
Yeah,
fire thing was the biggest challenge because I had to find the sweet spot where the fire was coming out, but Superman was also visible because some of the fire was just like all over, and he wasn't
right.
even like in the picture. So yeah,
Yeah, you definitely found a great balance, and it came out really, really great.
thanks.
Yeah, this might be one of my favorites of yours, to be honest.
Cool.
I mean, I might be a little biased just because there's Superman in it, but
Huge Superman fan, so it's okay.
oh, nice. Okay, awesome. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So Ian, it's another great figure since we're talking, or another great question since we're talking about Mafex here. Mafex Hush figures are incredible. I agree. I love that you guys use practical effects, but have you ever damaged a figure with fireworks, fire, or water?
I think the only one that I like slightly was a Frieza that I set a firecracker off. I was trying to recreate the scene where he blows up Krillin, but it didn't work out well. So,
Oh, right.
and he got like a little like black mark on his foot. It's not anything like I have to like stress over, but I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's like the only thing. Yeah.
I don't think I've damaged a Mafex before. I think there are with Mafex specifically, they do have a little. I think some of them have actual metal in their joints, like little screws and
Mm.
stuff like inside. And if you don't, it's like if you get them wet, and you don't dry them off right away, you could get a little rust in there.
Oh wow, I
Um,
didn't know that.
one of my Aquaman, like my Aquaman Mafex that I've got, he's got a little rust in one of his arms because there's actually metal. And that's the only time I've ever had damage to a figure from water, and it's really slight, but it is there. So I guess it's one thing to be careful of. And I don't know if all Mafex has metal in their joints or what, but I guess
I mean, in a way, it would make sense because when I start articulating them, they don't feel like other figures. So
yeah,
I can see
yeah,
where you're coming from. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think Mafex is some of the best. Yeah, they're just great. They're just really great.
Yeah.
Lander Rock, hello to you as well.
I always
Right,
get excited when I see they're making new figures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, me too. And they put out a bunch of stuff that I don't always necessarily get super excited about. Like what I most of the time get excited about is when like Japanese brands create Western characters.
Yeah.
That gets
Yeah.
me excited
Yeah, it's cool.
because I feel like they're gonna do them better than us Americans would do. But that's what gets me. Like, Mafex, Superman, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars as figure arts, and like that gets me super excited. All right, here we go. We've got. I mean, that pose with the cape and All Might is great, and of course we got Gojo over here, hands in pockets.
Yeah.
Doing I don't know whatever flip that is. So yeah, tell me about this. John.
So I used to skateboard for years when I was a teenager. Probably from when I was like 12 to 22 until I got a job, really. Like a full-time job, and had to balance school, and I just didn't have time for it anymore. So there's a lot of passion in this picture. Just using like props and everything. This was one of the first. So on Extreme Sets, I bought this diorama because I was like, I want to like see if it's for me. I didn't know they were huge. Like I didn't even set up the whole thing. Like they have so much accessories that they come with to create scenes. So this was a collab with Filmer, so it was
Yeah,
fun just reaching out within the community and be like, hey, we have similar interests. Like, what if we
yeah.
match your
When I
Nendoroids and I have the same figures? Just make something happen.
when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is like a collab made in heaven. This is like these guys are perfect to
Yeah,
collab together.
yeah. So All Might just had him doing a kickflip. Gojo, I wasn't really sure what trick I wanted to have him do, but there's a trick called the Impossible. So I was like, with
Right.
the Infinity, all that stuff. I just was like, with his hands in his pockets, him just making look everything just super easy. And
Right.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, I mean the environment and the diorama fits perfectly. And I mean, so you know what? I'm only just now noticing this is
Yeah.
your logo on the
Oh,
back.
yeah. Yeah, that was cool. I like how that came out. I was like, yo, it looks like it's graffitied on there. It's
It does. Like I honestly just noticed it right now. I'm like, oh, cool. There's the powers and that's cool. I didn't. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you just Photoshop? Did
yeah,
that?
yeah. Put Cheetah
How-
on the other side too. So yeah.
Oh yeah, see him over there.
Yeah.
Awesome. So did you just like kind of lower opacity to like how did
Yeah,
you get it
lowered opacity, and then I think I used the image mode. I think it was like screen. I think it was screen
screen?
instead of
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like it's there for sure. And did you just
Yeah.
kind of like place it there and then erase over the like the characters and stuff to make it like behind
No,
them?
I took the characters out and I was like just a snapshot of just the wall.
Nice. So
Yeah.
that's there's and what's really great to mention is that all of that takes
Mhm.
planning ahead of time. Like you have to
Yeah,
like
I can be very hard on myself when it comes to ideas or results.
well, you're getting great results. So
Thank you.
that's really great.
With it.
Um this is the deranged alley from Extreme Sets.
Uh, I don't remember the time. I know it's something alley. It might be. I don't want to lie.
Deranged. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely worked great for the shot. Okay, I really want to talk about this one with Aaron.
Yeah.
I literally finished and watched the last episode of Attack on Titan yesterday, so it's so very fresh in my mind. And the shot is awesome,
Thank you.
and you've got multiple different effects going on, like practical and I think some digital stuff too. Oh, you got your camera settings too.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, tell me about nice. Nice.
Well, the
Nice.
theme I think was canon event, so I put that picture to like what caused Aaron to be Aaron. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, tell me about this. Tell me about this show.
so I mean I don't even know where to start. I mean Attack on Titan is great. Like that's such an awesome series. I didn't
Really is.
have the privilege like you did to watch the end. When I caught up on the manga, I was like, I need to know how this ends. So I just read the rest. So I mean, since I already know how it ended, I haven't seen them. On just being lazy.
Okay.
I already know how it ends. Like but the openings are fire. I like every single opening is great. Like for my opinion, the rumbling one is my favorite.
Oh, the songs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
they're
was
great.
like the rumbling I was impressed because I'm also like I've always been a big fan of like metalcore and just
Yeah.
hearing
Same.
I was like, "Oh, they went for it." Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's why I was really into the Death Note openings too. I was like,
Yeah.
you don't see this all the time. This goes hard. I like this.
Toy Stories, how's it going, man? Thanks for coming in.
But yeah, I just with this picture, I just put a firecracker behind him, put some rocks, and just lit it up. But I just wanted to and then I put those lightnings were digital. Looking at it now, I'm like, man, I could have used generative fill to like make some more lightning to pop
Really?
out more.
I think it's perfect.
Oh well, I mean that's I guess I'm just being harder on myself since I took it. But yeah, I just wanted to feel that energy when Aaron bites himself and like the lightning hits and the explosion
Definitely,
that comes out, and I was like, that came out
definitely.
great.
It did come out really great, especially with the combination of the lightning and the explosion in the background.
Yeah.
This is the Figma, Aaron?
Yeah, I do have the I think it's third party. It's him in Titan form. I just haven't thought of
Oh,
something
okay.
to do. Yeah.
Is I remember because a long time ago when I first like when I think when the anime first started,
Mm.
maybe I don't know when I watched it, I wanted these figures so bad, but the aftermarket price was already beyond my. They were like so expensive. Have
Yeah.
they come out with any more
No.
since
So
then?
my luck was I bought him and Mikasa pre-owned on AmiAmi. That has been a huge. I don't know if you shop pre-owned, but that for me is a lifesaver. Like I'm
No,
surprised.
I've seen that they have that option sometime on
Yeah,
Amiyami, but I've never
there's
actually.
some really rare stuff that sometimes is like just dumb cheap compared to the prices here.
Yeah, I gotta check that more often because usually I'll end up using AmiAmi for pre-orders. Like, oh, something's
Yeah,
out, I need to pre-order it. Let me go to AmiAmi, and then
yeah,
that's kind of it. I don't usually do a lot of just like shopping,
yeah.
but I should do
The
that.
the pre-owned the good thing is they have scales. Like there's A, B, and C. I don't buy anything in C because that's usually like something's missing,
Oh,
some
like
joint is broken, or but
yeah,
B usually B it's like the box is bent or what. I'm like I toss boxes. I don't. But
yeah. It is
I don't
okay to throw away your box.
I don't keep them. I just put all the accessories in a like, clear bag, and I'm like, that's it. I don't have space.
Nice. Okay, I'm honestly surprised they haven't come or re-released these or what because
It'd
I
be
feel like
cool if they make the time skip versions. Season 4 ones would be great.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like the like longer hair and stuff, or with the new
Yeah.
ODM gear and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be
Longer
cool.
hair Aaron, grown up Aaron would be cool.
Interesting. I don't really like that Aaron very much,
No?
but no, not so
Oh.
much. But yeah, I mean, I think he's great, but
They're all
I think
cool. I don't mind. And they're all great. But yeah.
um, but it honestly blows my mind that they haven't come out with more, just because
How
it's
popular it is. Yeah.
right. Like, what's the deal with that? And there's been a lot of like different things similar
Yeah.
with this situation. Like, how are there not tons of different like Fairy Tale is one. Like, why there's like literally no.
I see a lot of demand for that. I've never seen that show. I have no idea what it's about, but
It's cool. I'm sure you'd probably love it. Just like people with different powers, they call themselves wizards, and they fight other people with
yeah.
powers, and it's all. I don't know. It's just great character. Well, dude, Toy Stories. Thanks so much, man. That's way too nice of you. I appreciate. That's so nice.
Yeah.
The hardest thing is to convincingly convey emotion with figures, and you did a great job here. Keep it up, man. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
I definitely agree for sure. With the eyes, for sure. I think you really captured Aaron and just that, like, I don't know, visceralness that he usually
I love his
has.
revenge, his rage. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks so much, Carlos. Really appreciate that, dude. That's really nice of you. I've got a bunch of questions that were
Sure.
sent over from Instagram, and I want to get started with because there's a bunch of them, and there's a lot of really good ones. And there's actually one
Cool.
question in here that's like my favorite questions anyone's ever asked. I can't wait
Oh
to
wow.
get to it. Like so much to the point where I want to like steal that question and ask it every time because I really like it.
Yeah.
All right. So, first question is from Mandalorian Photography, who at least was here in the live chat. Thanks for being here, man. So, what's your favorite shot you've ever taken?
Not. I think it's the most recent one I took right now. That or the one that's inspired from Blade Runner. I really like that one.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna pull that up right now. So your most recent one is this one.
Yeah, I like that one, but the one above it, I really like how that came out. I put a lot
Oh,
of
okay. So that's because I was looking at this one. I was like, this is great. And
yeah,
now I see it's like a Blade Runner thing with like a
yeah,
big hologram in the city and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
What type of guys do you like? The Denji type.
yeah.
Um, and there, because I've watched the first season of this. Is there any more than that? And that I'm
No,
missing? Okay. Okay, good. Just want to make sure I'm not missing
yeah.
something. And here he is. Thanks for sending in the
Oh,
questions, man.
yeah. Thank you.
This is a really cool shot. So, is this like computer screen that you got for what's her
No,
name? I can't remember her name.
this is so like I feel like if people saw like the before on how I took it, they'd be like, no way, that's the final result. Because I just took it just on my table with just a black piece of paper to make him a background, and I just deleted the background, like put lighting, of course, because I already had it in my head, like the colors I envisioned, and everything is in Photoshop, like the bridge, like the rail bridge in front of him, editing her, everything is all like,
Nice.
yeah, it's all digitally created.
Cool.
Yeah,
Fantastic. You did a great job with it.
thank you.
Definitely a really cool concept, an idea, that's
Yeah,
totally like, you had to have been totally brewing that up in your head for a while.
yeah.
And yeah, and plus it came out great,
Thanks.
came out really great. Cool. All right. So great question, and obviously really great answer. So Mandalorian photography. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. And he's got a few more questions. He fired in like a ton of them. So
Sure.
Mandalorian, I only grabbed some of them though. But I do appreciate it. And this is a great question because we have not talked about this. What lights do you use?
So I have some. They're called Digipower. They're pretty much just like light panels, and I have like I stand them on little tripods, and I always use 3. That's what I've been using. I know Lume Cube is probably better, but I haven't gotten there yet.
I mean, Lume Cubes like is great, and I love them. They're definitely, I would say, more of a premium brand. There's probably a lot of lights that are out there that do great. Like I've never heard of what they call power. What is it?
Digipower.
Digipower. I've never even heard of that.
I found them at Best Buy. Just got a few.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's awesome. And I'm sure they're probably something more affordable, which is
yeah, they're RGB. They can get really bright, and yeah.
Cool. Digipower. All right. Well, I'm gonna look into that. And I don't know. That sounds really cool. Digipower. Cool.
Reminds me of Digimon, the name.
Digimon. So you use Digimon lights.
No,
so
I'm saying it reminds me of the series called
Digimon.
I know. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
That'd be cool if you could evolve your lights into like, just like a small panel into like a big panel.
Cool.
But then the big panel ends up having like machine guns on the ends once you evolve it. All right. Great. Great question, Mandalorian. And next one says, which one? Outside photography or inside?
I'm gonna say outside right now, just because of the figures that I like. It's easier to do. I mean, explosions, setting stuff on fire. I can, but I shouldn't do that stuff inside. So yeah, outdoors.
I've seen people use fireworks inside before. I'm like, you know what? If you know what you're doing, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. I mean, the imagination is there. I'm like, well, what happened if I set one?
Sometimes I see like if you have like a big garage, wide open garage, like I see, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I wish I had a big garage, and like I'd probably do that in there too.
Yeah, for sure. That would be cool.
Cool. Yeah, little outside. I think I'll always be a favor. I will always favor outside also. All right. And I think this is the last one from Mandalorian. It says, what's your favorite movie?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's my wife's favorite movie.
Yeah, the movie's great.
And I had never seen it. Yeah, I had never seen it until we had met. And I was just like so impressed. I was like, this is so good.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And everything looks like the way they, I don't know, stylized all of the special effects to make it look the way it does. Not only looks cool, but like it all like it looks so clean and flawless, like it
Yeah,
holds up so well.
the
So if you haven't
effects
seen that
are,
movie,
yeah, they're great.
yeah, wonderful choice. Yeah, really, really great choice.
That is like figures that I wish existed. I'm like, there's nothing. Yeah.
Right. There's plenty of, and I've been seeing more of them actually for like the comic looking
Yeah.
characters from Scott Pilgrim, but not like, Michael Cera,
Yeah,
Mary
that
Elizabeth
would be
Winstead.
cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I'd I'm sure my wife she'd be instantly pre-ordering them. Cool, great, great answer. All right, Mandalorian photography with all those questions, very much appreciated, my friend. So Ben, action photography says, what settings do you use for action shots?
Well, that's recently changed with the new lens. It's usually very similar to like what you've been saying, like ISO at 400, f-stop at 1.8, and then
Awesome.
shutter is just adjusting to however bright the time of day it is. Yeah.
Cool. So when it changed, what did it change from?
So the wide lens could only go to like, I think it was like 3, like that's the lowest it could go.
Oh,
So 1.8 is very different. Like the way things pop is it's new. So yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's really great. Plus, it gives you a little more room to turn the shutter speed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the 1.8 gives you a little extra light.
Yeah, it's great.
I was looking. Sometimes when I'm in Best Buy killing time, they've got like cameras and stuff out there. I'm like, oh, let me mess with this. There's like there's a Sony 50 millimeter f 1.2,
Oh wow.
which almost is like that seems like too much. Like that
Was
seems
it?
like I don't know. That
Oh.
one was locked up. The one that there was like it was 1.8, the one that I was messing with. But yeah, I was like, geez, that's. I mean, I guess it works great in really low light, but like that almost seems like way too much.
Yeah.
But definitely got me curious. Thank you for sending it in, Ben. Great question. Okay, Comic Dad said he's got a 23 millimeter 1.4. 23 millimeter. Is that?
Sounds very thin.
Yeah, is it is it a prime lens? I mean, 23 just sounds so incredibly random. But I wish there was like a way to like go out and test. I just want to go somewhere and just like test them out and like switch them out and
Yeah.
see. Like, there's probably stores like that that have it. I would love to do that. Cool. Makes a bigger background. Nice. All right. Like that. Cool. Sounds great. Speaking of Comic Dad, he says, if you could set yourself in any IP, which would it be and why? I like this.
Well, I mean, if I'm just human, I guess it changes things. But if I'm able to be, I mean, I don't know. Everything I'm into, there's really no safe world.
Exactly. It's totally different. Like
everywhere I can go, I'm pretty much screwed. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of these worlds and these, fantasy and whatever pop culture worlds.
I guess the
dangerous.
safest. Yeah, I guess the safest one would probably be Spy Family, because they're all
okay.
Just
I've never seen Spy Family. What? Well, what? I don't know. Just tell for the noobs like me. Tell me about Spy Family, because now I want to know. I know it's a popular anime right now.
It's just a very like heartwarming but very exciting show. It's just the chemistry between the 3 characters just keeps you very entertained. Like the dad is a spy, but the family doesn't know. He's role playing that he's I think a psychologist or something. And the mom she's an assassin, but the dad doesn't know. So they're in a pretend marriage. Like it benefits them acting like they're married, but each of them don't know who they really are. But the adopted daughter they have, Anya, she can read minds, so she knows who they are, but she can't say anything. And yeah, it's just really entertaining.
That's cool. That sounds really fun. Yeah. And then he says, okay, if you're a hero, then what world would you want to be in?
Berserk.
Okay, that sounds very
just slaying monsters and all that stuff. It'd be cool.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Comic Dad, great question, man. D Lake Photography says, "What's your go-to figure?"
Um, Probably Denji and Power are always like my first ones I think of. But I'm like, for me, I'm like, if I use them, kind of chill out, find other ideas. I have a bunch of
Gotcha.
figures. Like I have a lot of figures that I haven't even like used. I have too many, and I just haven't
Yeah,
even used them yet. So I'm like, no,
they'll
find
come
an
in
idea
handy.
with what you have. Yeah.
They'll definitely come in handy. Kitty says, "Hey, bro, haven't watched you in a minute. Remember watching you from Wonder World." Well, that's cool. Thanks for coming in. That's really awesome. Wonder World was just like some video they made about me, and
That's cool.
I don't know, got like 1 million views or something, but
Oh
that was really
wow.
great. I know, it's crazy. D Lake, awesome, awesome question. Always a very necessary question on a stream
Yeah.
like this. From Fiveler, how do you come up with such awesome and unique ideas? And what's your motivation? An amazing work.
I guess the ideas come from well, like for instance, like the easiest thing you can say is you'll be like, this is your month's challenge, and I'm just like, how can I
Oh,
make it
cool.
pop but make it make sense? Like I don't want to just take a picture of something just because. Like I want it to have a story. Like I
Right.
want it to feel alive, if that makes sense.
Totally. I'm the
And
same
that
way.
yeah, and when I find inspiration from panels, I never or an anime scene or whatever, I never want to do like a copy and paste. I want to use it as inspiration, but I always want my work to stand out. So I
Cool.
guess yeah,
That's great because it's definitely a standard that
yeah,
you're keeping for yourself, which sometimes is tough because um, it becomes hard on yourself for
yeah,
sure. But
yeah,
I think that's really good if you want to see yourself grow and stuff like that in all
yeah,
different ways.
for sure.
So I think that's really great. I think that's really, really great. Have you thought of an idea for the noodles one? The noodles challenge?
Some I haven't
Yeah, I
like
mean, you got
sat
time.
that yeah, but
It's not
that was
even. It's still January.
yeah,
Still
but
January.
my mind is racing. Like I'm like I want to do something. I don't know. For some reason I always want to do something chaotic or destructive or just something
Yes.
that's yeah. But
All right. It sounds
I
good.
don't know. I got to find out
Cool.
what. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fiveler, for the question. And next we've got Sanjavan, filmer himself. What is one piece of camera equipment that you can't live without?
I mean, like as far as accessories go, I would say my shutter remote. That I would say is a huge lifesaver. I
So
have
much.
unfortunately, I remember when I broke the first one I had, and I tried taking a picture with just using the camera button, and everything was just coming out horrible, and I was like, never again.
Yeah, yeah. Because when you end up pushing down the button, you're still pushing down the camera a little
Yeah,
bit, so you're
yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Um, so what kind of remote are you using?
It's just a wired one that connects with the jack. I haven't
Right.
found any luck with a wireless one right now. I'm sure there is,
Yeah,
but what I
that
have is
one's
working
great.
fine. Yeah.
That one's really great. It's pretty rare where I like with the one that I use, where I will have needed one like to be that far away. It sometimes happens.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, because the one for Sony, it's a Sony remote that's made specifically
Yeah.
for Sony cameras, so it's Bluetooth. So I don't. It's really great. It's also like $90 for the remote.
Do you
Um,
ever have any like Bluetooth connectivity issues with that or no?
Sometimes I don't think sometimes it takes a little bit to connect, but I don't
Mm.
think it's because of the Bluetooth. I think it's because of like either battery or
Oh, okay.
something where it's not like because it's basically always connected
Oh, okay.
because it's like it's made specifically for this and nothing else. So like it's like the second I turn my camera on, the remote is also just like becomes a part of the camera basically.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay,
it's
great.
really like quite amazing, and I think I'm kind of spoiled by it, and I probably take it for granted. But it's really great.
I do want to upgrade to Sony eventually, for sure.
Honestly, like I don't think it. I wouldn't even say it's an upgrade. I think it's just totally preference. I'm sure there's like a great equivalent to whatever type of camera I have, and Sony as in Canon or
Yeah.
every other one. But I do definitely like my Sony
This
very
the
much.
size is the reason I would want to, because I have a DSLR, an older model, and it's huge. Falls off
Yeah,
the tripod a lot, and it's
right.
annoying.
Yeah, it is a little bit smaller for sure. But I think there's some like Canon makes similar types of either mirrorless or just like
Yeah,
smaller
it's
DSLR.
just a branding, just a fan. That's yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. All right, Filmer, great question, man. Thanks for all that you do. Great question. This is from MM Studios. Says, "What's a man who beats dragon?" From your bio, would love to know the answer. Yeah, I'm assuming this is from an anime or something.
That's a quote from Guts in the manga. He's kind of having like a
Cool.
self-reflection, asking him like that dragons are feared because they're dragons, but what defines somebody if you're able to defeat a dragon? And it's cool.
Cool. That is really cool, and it's good motto to live by. Oh, Comic Dad. Honestly, like I went through a little bit too because the first couple of wireless remotes too, it didn't take continuous shots. It just took one at a time, which was
Yeah.
obviously a huge problem. So I don't know. Keep looking into it, I guess. And there's got to be something out there for Canon that does the same as what I've got. And David, the one that I have for my Sony is a it's called like a PB something. Sony PB whatever. Just type in like Sony Bluetooth remote. You know what? I've got it linked in my store that I always have. It's in this video description too, like the Amazon thing. I got it linked in there if you're interested. And it's great. It's a little pricey though. MM Studios, thank you for sending that question in also. So we had favorite movie, favorite TV show. Guess you could say Berserk, but no, you said you didn't actually watch any of it. You just
I
read it.
read it. I mean, I guess if anime counts,
Definitely.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I think, would be my favorite. Invincible is awesome. I love that. Mandalorian was freaking awesome too.
Sweet. You're naming just stuff that I really like, which is really cool.
I mean, again, if One Piece One Piece, that's amazing. I love that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Jujutsu Kaisen is also one of the ones I've recently been like wanting
That's
to
great. Yeah.
watch, and I did watch because I hadn't watched like any anime for like years, and like in the last couple of years I see it everywhere. Like it's just like I'm like,
Yeah.
why this is the worst time for me to be in a slump of watching anime. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let me pick the biggest ones right now.
I get what you
And
mean. I kind of stepped away from it for years, like a long time. And when I got into it, my first one was Demon Slayer. Like when it had already had a couple months out, and I was like, I don't know who this is. Some kid with a green jacket and a sword. And I'm gonna just check it out. And then my
Yeah.
brother got into My Hero, and we kind of swapped. And yeah, like there's still a lot of stuff that people are like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, there's endless.
Yeah, so I get. I
Endless.
mean, even from like the popular ones, like I get where you're coming from when you say
Yeah,
that.
for sure. And that's cool. When I decided to start up again, Demon Slayer was also because that was like I was like I want to just watch the biggest ones currently.
Yeah.
And then I was like Demon Slayer is probably the biggest right now, probably. So
Yeah.
Yes. Brady, go for it. It's worth it. It's really good.
It's cool.
All right, Toy Guzzler. Appreciate that, man. Loculos Hidden Gem says, where do you get ideas from when you're blanking? This question always comes up every time. It's such a good one to talk about.
Some of the things that help me is I try to Google ideas of maybe what I'm thinking of, because like sometimes, like for instance, like with the noodles thing right now, like right now I can't really figure out exactly what I want to do, but it always helps me to at least just take time to brainstorm at least multiple ideas, and eventually I'm like, no, that would be cool, but that's not gonna work, and eventually with time I'm just like, yeah, that will work. So I think to answer that, for me, is just I just spend time just like intensely just imagining scenes in my head or trying to really find it's fun.
Taking your time. Yeah, it's totally okay to take your time like that. There's definitely a sometimes I feel like an urge to rush into like I don't want to I don't want to people will want to keep consistently or constantly post things, and then it's
Yeah,
okay to have less frequent consistency. Yeah, you can still be consistent while not posting very often. You could post once a month. That's still
I'm not
consistent.
very consistent. I would say that.
Well, taking your time is definitely okay. Hey, Artistic Toaster. If you're not a fan of his stuff, he's like almost exclusively like JoJo
I was
related
gonna
stuff.
say I love his profile picture. The
Which is
Jotaro,
great.
that's sick. Yeah.
Cool. Really great. Really great question, Lokilos, and really great answer too. There's always a different answer to this, which is that's so important. So important. All right. From Johnny, Ganja Wifer says, "What got you into Dragon Ball?"
My brother really. We was think I was like maybe 5 or 6. I was in kindergarten and turned on Cartoon Network watching Toonami, and he was like, "You gotta check this out. Like, you gotta see this dude. He's throwing lasers out of his hand and everything." And I watched it. I was just blown away. It was this. It was the Goku, and he was fighting Vegeta. Like seeing the Kamehameha
Oh,
against the
nice.
Galick Gun. I was just blown away as a kid. Like my standards were set up so high. Watching everything else after that. Yeah, it's really cool.
Same. I think you kind of just explained the same way I got into Dragon Ball. Me and my oldest brother kind of got into it together, and just from Toonami.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, we're probably like the same age. I was born in '92. Or
96.
okay, so yeah,
we're in the same era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toonami for sure. But for me, it was Namek Saga was my first exposure.
Oh, that's so good. That was so cool.
It was like when I feel like Krillin and when there's a lot of like Krillin and Gohan together.
Yeah, with the Ginyu Force and collecting the Dragon
that was
Ball.
like my first. And so I always thought Krillin was a kid too. I thought Krillin and Gohan were the same age because Krillin was like short.
So short.
And then like
yeah.
later on when I moved on like to like watch Dragon Ball, I was like, oh, Krillin's like the same age as Goku.
Because
Like,
Goku, yeah.
Makes no sense. I thought he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic. I definitely need to do a rewatch of Dragon Ball.
I need to shoot more Dragon Ball. I would say that I have a lot
Me
of
too.
them.
Me too.
Just haven't.
Yeah, I do as well. I think one of the things that stops me from doing it is there's so much that happens in Dragon Ball that I can't do practically. Like any of the energy stuff, auras and energy blasts, I can't do any of that practically. So that I think that's what steers me away. Even though I don't have to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I get what you mean. I think about it and I'm like, how would I create a Kamehameha?
Yeah, like you'd have to do that. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely ways to do it. Actually, you know what? There is. I mean, there's obviously art, but if you know Black Series, Bulksers, however you want on Instagram, amazing photographer. He used like a magnifying glass and like put a super bunch of light into it, and then the light focused like this, and then he used like atmosphere aerosol, and the light looked like the energy. Yeah, super cool.
That's
super
crazy.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I would definitely take a look. And yeah, he's great. He's really great.
For real. That sounds awesome.
Johnny, great question, man. From Leo, Harry Collectibles, what camera do you use? You actually haven't talked about that.
Oh, yeah. I have a Canon 80D.
An 80D.
Yeah.
ATD. not a Canon attention deficit disorder. Canon ATD.
Yeah, 80.
80D. Cool. So is that one that you can kind of flip your screen out at all?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's honestly like one of the reasons why I got that one.
Yeah, that's so wildly important. Mine camera does not do that. It flips out just one way.
Yeah,
but not the whole. And so I need to. That's one of the reasons why I want to get a new camera. But still does the job.
4 does that, right? For Sony?
Yes, it does. Yeah. But it's like $2,000.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah. Oh, Abisai. Yes, of course. Light painting is a fantastic way to get like a
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z effect. Definitely. Absolutely. Cool. Thanks, Leo, for that. Very essential question, which I'm surprised we haven't gotten around to actually asking yet. Okay, this comic dad, this is my favorite question ever, and I want to steal this and ask this all the time. I think this question is so good. I love it so much, and like I was just like grinning like from ear to ear when I saw this. I was like, "This is an amazing question. Yeah, all time. This is so good." So, if you were made into an action figure, what accessories would you come with?
I guess it's like accessories that I just carry every single day. I guess headphones, my gym bag, a shaker bottle. Yeah, I don't know.
Shaker
That's
bottle,
really,
nice. Okay,
that's really. I mean, things. Yeah, that's really like that's like my main accessories. Like the stuff I take with me always going to the gym.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
Not like a berserk book, like a little berserk
A
manga
manga would
book.
be cool. I mean, yeah, if I can, the manga. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
that's something you could probably make.
Yeah.
Print stuff out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That could be a cool prop. But Star Wars time popping in. Matt, thanks for popping in, dude. You're the man. I like that idea. Okay, I wasn't thinking gym stuff, but
I guess that's like the main stuff. I guess most out of the like just common everyday use, like the phones or headphones or whatever. Like,
right.
yeah,
Headphones, yeah, headphones is great
yeah,
for sure. Cool. Yeah, I'm comic dad. I am definitely going to ask this every time. I
it's a
think
good question. It
it's-
definitely made me think. It threw me off. I was like, what
yeah,
I
it's
come
really
with?
good. It's really good. So really well thought out too, Andrew. So thanks for sending in that shot.
Yeah.
It's really good. Sending in that shot, Jesus. I'm so used to doing those the reaction things that sometimes just comes out. Yeah, that's like I love this question so much. I
Yeah,
really do.
it's yeah, it was fun.
I'm gonna think on it and come up with my answers. I'd have like my cats,
Oh, that'd be cool.
an energy drink.
112 skill cat. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I guess a camera.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a lame. Another action figure.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta keep going. Great question, Andrew. Another great question. So, Mike Mansell says, over all the other types of photography there are, what is it about toy photos that grabs you?
Just being able to connect with special moments or memories. Just like as a kid, growing up and then being able to see things that I saw and just being able to interact with them. And there's no rules to it, and you could just do whatever
Yeah.
you want.
No rules. That's
Yeah.
so huge. Yeah, just being able to create and do stuff. Yeah, because one thing that's totally different with toy photography than I don't want to say any other, but like not only are you taking the photo, but you're also creating the thing you're taking a photo of. You're creating
Yeah.
the entire scene, and you have
Yeah.
control over everything. Everything.
That's
Which,
that's really cool.
is really cool. My most recent experience, right, had control over nothing, which was really hard because like my wife's a designer, she had a fashion show and stuff, and I was taking pictures doing it. I didn't have control over anything, over lighting, over what I had to
Oh
just
wow.
figure out. I was just there taking pictures as it happened, and so it was really like a wake up call. I was like, this is hard. I don't have any control. I just got to take the pictures and hopefully I get something good. Yes, I agree. Artistic Toaster, couldn't agree more. Snapface, how's it going, dude? Thanks for coming in. Cool, Mike. Really great question. Thank you for sending in that question, dude. Toys for Shots. And this is actually the last question from Instagram. Says, what inspires you when you're scrolling other people's photos? Really great questions.
I think a lot of inspiration is I see it and I'm like, I don't know, like I didn't think of that posing, or I want to try doing that same thing too, but with different figures, or Um, or if I have the figure that I already have, but I just haven't used it, I'm like, that's something I didn't think of using that
Mm.
figure with, and it's just cool. I just love seeing the community, what they come up with, their ideas, and yeah, it just helps me come up. Like I just branch off of those ideas, be like, I want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different things you could see in a photo that can inspire you, whether it just
Yeah,
be a pose or a placement of something, where the light is, where the photo was taken, how, there's a
yeah,
billion different things. Like, oh wow, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, it's really
yeah,
cool.
for sure.
You just further you continue to just learn that yeah, there really are no rules. It just
Yeah, yeah.
solidifies that. Excuse me. Um, cool. So great questions, everybody. Thank you for sending those questions in. Like, I really like these are really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have two questions
Sure.
for you. Snapface, you're the man, dude. You've been like, yeah, no, you've been around this whole. Yeah, you're the man. You've always been here. um, so my first question is, what character that you love very much that does not exist yet in a figure? What character is it? Like that, what do we need
Uh,
a figure of that
I
we
mean,
don't
there's
have yet?
there's a few. Um, I mean, do you want me to just name one or tell you a
I don't know,
few?
just name one
Okay.
or two. I don't know the first whatever that comes to mind, and
Uh,
and who would you want to make it to?
there's two. Um, like of course I would want it to be either SH Figure Arts or Mafex because those are my top two that I
Those are
like.
the best.
Yeah. It would be Final Fantasy VII. Like I would love to see Cloud, Tifa, the whole gang just better articulated because they're only made right now by Square Enix's line, which is Bring Arts.
Bring arts, right?
It's nice, but articulation isn't always there. So
Yeah.
that's just I can't. Sometimes I can't really pose them how I would want to, or the face expressions are very limited. Like when I bought Cloud the Kingdom Hearts version, and he only comes with one face, and I was like, okay,
Right.
yeah.
My wife had the Sora Bring arts, which was
Yeah,
okay.
I have the Big Hero 6 version of that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the series.
I'm honestly surprised that. Actually, you know what? I bet you it's because Square Enix, who owns the characters, they're probably like, no,
Yeah.
we'll just make our own figures. Thank you
Which
very much.
which was very surprising that SH Figure Arts made 2B from Nier, that picture I just took, because she was exclusively like just Square Enix.
Oh, okay.
But I know I got an anime on Crunchyroll, and it only has I think like 12 episodes, but still, like to have only 12 episodes and get a whole figure, I was like, that's shocking,
Interesting.
because I thought like Square Enix would just be so like on what they have.
Hmm.
Yeah. Apart
Yeah,
from that, oh, I would just say like the only other figure I would want would be a Mafex, and from Invincible, like Invincible and Omni Man. That would be perfect. Like
yeah, that's
wired cape Omni
crazy to me
Man
too.
would be amazing.
Yeah, I would be interested in that. I'd be interested in that for sure.
It'd be like
I'm also
day one
surprised.
pre-order.
I think it's just Diamond Select that has
Yeah,
Invincible, right? Do they even do an Omni Man? Yeah.
I think there.
They
I'm not
must.
sure. I'm not sure who's the company, but there is a Omni Man figure out there.
I think it's probably the Diamond one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, I'm surprised, and I could see Mafex doing that in the same type of like comic book line style because they've been doing
Yeah,
like, all
because
the
they just do it so
X-Men
good
and
already. Yeah.
in the Hush. Yeah, that would be great. I would probably want to get an Invincible and an Omni Man for
Yeah,
sure,
it was like an
just so I could have
Omni-Man.
Superman kick his ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an Omni-Man versus Superman would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Then you could officially do like Omni Man, Superman, and Homelander all together.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Except for Homelander would eat it so bad, I think.
Yeah, very.
Even though I love
But
Homelander.
still, his design would just fit in very
Oh,
cool
yeah.
with the design.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All the Superman quote unquote knockoffs, even though
Yeah.
I think they're all great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and so the next question is where do you see yourself as a toy photographer in 5 years?
hopefully more active than where I am now. Um, in terms of like postings and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Um, I do want to like I like the work that I have now, but in terms of 5 years, I would like to look back and be like, wow, I thought that was like my peak, and yeah,
Cool.
that's just something that I look forward to because every single time I like with your monthly challenges, I tell myself I'm like, I know he does it for like a theme and stuff, but for me, I take the challenge part and like, how can I make this photo better than last month's? Whether it's lighting or everything, I just try to always keep that in mind to be like, I want it to look better than last month's. So yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I definitely am hoping to challenge that. Like that's why I choose stupid things like noodles to make
It's
it
cool. Yeah.
challenging. So that's I'm honestly super happy to hear that. And I think that's a really cool like 5-year goal to
Yeah.
like to be able to look at your photos from 5 years and be like, wow, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
but
will
still look
say,
at them fondly.
like right now, like I know you shared like your experiences of like Mountain Dew and all that stuff, and that was cool. But when I posted that skateboard picture, and then Tech Deck liked my photo, I was like, no freaking way.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, I was like, no way. That's so. Like I remember playing with these things in high school. Like I never thought that like a company like that would like look at it, and that was
Whoa, that's huge. Where
yeah.
is it?
So,
Why am I passing it? It's a tech deck like this one.
yeah.
Ah, I can't. Oh, here we go. Where is it?
Like I went, oh, there it is. Yeah.
That is so cool. Congrats.
Oh,
That
thank
is
you.
super
Yeah.
awesome.
It
So
just felt
cool.
unreal. I was like, wow, these things I used to just play with as a kid.
Yeah, that's great. And hey, if I'm sure that the that social media platform exists for a reason.
Yeah.
There's that social media account for Tech Deck exists for a reason. So, and I'm sure not just for selling. I'm sure that just keep the best you could possibly do is just
Yeah.
keep doing Tech Deck stuff. Who knows? Maybe they'll reach out.
More people, yeah, skateboarding, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe do one with just like your fingers.
I've thought about that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, in 5 years, maybe you'll be doing official Tech Deck work.
Who knows? That'd be cool.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd want to add or mention or plug? Anything like that?
I mean, not really. I think I've shared everything from my end so far.
All right.
I will say, just randomly, I remember when I was first watching your videos, something that made me just a huge fan was I think you have for alligator tattooed like on your leg.
Yes.
And I saw that and I was just like, that is the best starter. I'm a huge Johto fan. That was my first like official game, total dial starter from the beginning.
Heck yeah.
And I was like, this dude knows what's up. Like he knows.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. For alligator is always my favorite.
Yeah,
forever.
sure.
So
That
that's
it just
awesome.
felt so like just relatable. I was like, well, he has similar interests, and just seeing things like that, I was like,
Cool.
that's cool. That's really
That's really cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love on the for alligator thing.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's actually really funny. Like my wife's got like 1 billion tattoos. Like she's just got nothing left that doesn't have a tattoo on it. And so anytime we go out somewhere, the people are always saying nice tattoos to her. But every once in a while, they'll see the Pokemon on my leg and say, "Hey man, love the tattoos." I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah. Very rare, but it happens. Oh my gosh, Mr. Car fan over here. Oh, I just gave him what he wants by mentioning him. Well, there you go. You were mentioned. So you better sub right now, Mr. Car fan. Anyway, Ray, dude, thank you so much for everything. This has been a really great conversation. I got so much cool insight about all the fantastic shots you've got on your Instagram. Sure. So if you're not already following Ray, go ahead and do that like right away, right now. Ray Sashi 2099. Got it linked in the description of this video right now, so it makes it super easy. No excuse. Hey Trini, Raisha, thanks for coming. Perfect timing right at the end. But yeah, dude, I'm so glad we finally were able to
Oh
finally
yeah,
able to do
finally.
this.
Yeah, just school and everything. Just yeah.
Yeah, same man. All right, everyone, have a great night, and thanks again for watching. And yeah, see you later on.
Cool.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.